of the comedic style of this one. It's silly, it's over the top, and you can tell that, Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell were friends for a long time because he just beats the shit out of them in this movie.
I know one of these movies is coming up. This movie that I'm thinking about, it's an Italian movie about an editor, but which is funny. But this, other than that, is your favorite horror comedy of all time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because I don't know if you would call the other one a horror comedy or not.
What the fuck? It's a parody of fucking Italian movies.
No, not that one. I'm thinking of another film that's on my list. I don't know if you'd call that.
I don't know if I would call Evil Dead 2 a horror comedy.
It's a horror comedy, but like very rare, very small side of the comedy. It's got comedic, like it's got the Three Stooges going on for sure.
I think it's horror comedy for sure. I don't like if you're gonna tell me that it's not, then I'm not gonna listen to you. It's a horror comedy. All right, go ahead. Give it to everyone knows about that.
Number 7 is Hellraiser.
Wow, nice.
As I've said many times on the podcast, I'm a huge sucker for a dark fairy tale.
Yep.
And this is the darkest, dark fucking fairy tale that's ever been made.
Yeah, I forgot that you haven't even mentioned this yet. I'm shocked that it's in that high.
I really love Hellraiser.
I do too.
It features like the mythos like that Clive Barker built is just fucking ridiculously cool, man. Yeah. Like the lament configuration and the Cenobites and Leviathan and all of it, all of it is just really, really cool. The look of the Cenobites, it's one of the best examples I can think of a film adaptation that just totally trounces its pre-existing source novel. Like Tales of the Hellbound Heart is a really cool novella, but the way that Barker adapted it to the screen is so much more effective and enthralling, and like it sucks you into its world, like I can't remember, what's the name of the actress that plays Kirsty?
Oh, she's in
Ashley Lawrence or something.
Ashley Lawrence, yes.
Yeah, she's
in 2 of them, right?
Yeah, she's in the first one and the second one and like the fifth one or something.
Oh yeah, that's right. She comes back with Craig Sheffer, maybe.
But like for it being her first performance, it's really great. She plays scared really well. She plays like tough final girl really well. The undertones of it it says a lot with like that, like you know that like Frank did something awful to Kirsty.
Yeah.
Early in her life or something, and it doesn't even have to say much to send that message. And just like the only real complaint that I've always had about Hellraiser is that the actress that plays Julia just doesn't really come off as being like the gorgeous seductress that he paints her as in the novel and like who she's supposed to be.
See, I never read that, but when you're talking about Cabal, like that fucking whole universe, the way you just painted it right now, like I would want to go watch or read like that stuff that you're just talking about.
Oh, Tales of the Hellbound Heart?
Yeah.
It's something you can read in a couple hours. It's only like 120 pages.
Yeah, it's really short.
It's really short.
Oh, nice.
It doesn't, like, his screenplay expands on the ideas in that a lot. Much the way that his screenplay for Lord of Illusions does on The Last Illusion. Like, The Last Illusion is a really short story.
See, I'm not the movie sucked for me. I don't like Scott Bakula.
It was a weak lead choice, but the other casting, like, I can't remember the actor's name that played Nix or whatever.
Yo, fat ass.
The supernatural cult leader, zombie dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, as little as he was in the movie, he kicks ass.
Alright, well, we've all touched Hellraiser tonight. I'm fucking done talking about it. Number 7 for me is American Werewolf in London. It's really high compared to your guys's. And
I really like the way that it kind of breathes life into the Universal monster stuff again.
I mean, there was a lot of fucking werewolf shit happening in the 70s too. What's that one guy? We did one of his movies.
Oh yeah, Nashi.
Yeah, Nashi.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that.
He basically carried the flag for werewolf movies through that whole decade.
Yeah, but it probably didn't break big over here anyways.
No.
So, but yeah, it brought back werewolves, and then after that, was Howling the same year?
It was like the year after.
It was?
I think Howling was 81 and Werewolf was 80.
No, Werewolf was 81.
Oh, then they were both, same.
Yeah, okay. So there was no, like, influence, maybe. I guess, like, the special effects dudes,
because
they were, like...
Baker sent Bottin to go do the Howling or something.
I don't know which one came out first, but the transformation scene, obviously, is the best thing ever in... Well, I mean...
I think American Werewolf came out first. I think that's why Bottin came to do Howling.
I mean, in the thing, like, there's transformations, not, like, into a monster, but, you know, that's what shit...
The transformation scenes in the thing are way better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not forming into, like, just, like, a stereotypical fucking universal monster. You can get way more creative with the thing special effects than you can with doing a werewolf. So that's why that's better, but, like, it's... Transformation scene's the best in any movie ever, so go ahead, Scott.
All right, my number 7 is The Witch.
I have weed now. Oh, you got...
The Witch is fucking amazing. I can't believe that it shot up this high on my list.
Dude, it was, like, in my top 5 when I started making the list.
Yeah, I think it was for me, too, and I had to, like, push it down, but it had to stay in the top 10, because, like, just everything about this film, the way they... Like, everything's shot with natural lighting, like candles in the cabin or just actual lighting outside.
Whoever listens to our podcast and made it this far, and they don't like The Witch, they hate us, probably.
Right. Just everything about this, like, the sense of dread is just palpitating, like, throughout the whole fucking film.
I've been palpitating this whole time listening to you talk. All right, go ahead, Randy.
Yeah. Number 6 for me is From Beyond.
Nice.
My favorite Gordon film, my favorite H.P. Lovecraft adaptation, my favorite Jeffrey Combs performance. The effects are great, the story's great, the acting is great, the score is great.
That's mine too. Right there, From Beyond.
Number 6?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
The ending's good too. What Randy said. Go ahead, Scott. We've already covered this.
My number 6 is Maniac.
He's a maniac.
Fucking love this movie.
That song was originally meant for that movie.
But yeah, Frank Zito.
Okay.
No, it really was.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were fucking with me.
No, they changed the lyrics a little bit to put it in, like, Flashdance or what the fuck ever, but it was originally intended for Maniac.
I gotcha.
Yep, Joseph Spinell as Frank Zito is, like, a perfect performance, like, just a greasy slime ball that you actually feel sorry for the shit that he goes through, but at the same time is disgusted by the acts that he does.
No, I think it's, like, his... fish belly body and
all that too, but he's greasy and nasty.
Yeah, he's just gross looking, his appearance.
But yeah, this movie is phenomenal. Absolutely love it. It's so gross and disgusting.
Are you jacking off?
Yes, I am.
All right, go ahead, Randy.
This is, Number 5 is my favorite Fulci film, The Beyond. I don't know. It's some people throw it into the zombie subgenre just because there are zombies in it, but it's more like. I don't know, it, like, has its own subgenre, really. It kind of falls into, like, a witchcraft, like, Satan, like, you know, opening the gates of hell, supernatural, pre-apocalypse. Like, it just uses zombies as part of the plot. It's also, like, a ghost story. It's about a haunted hotel. Ethereal, dimensional jumping, and... crossing planes of existence, and, like, it confuses a lot of people, and you have to watch it a lot of times to get a lot of it. A lot of people are like, but I thought that blind girl was dead, but why is that blind girl who... just watch it a few times and you'll get it a little bit more. But it's really trippy and cerebral, and it takes a lot of watches to really absorb and get what's going on and stuff. But
dude, it's wicked. All right, Texas Chainsaw Massacre for number
5.
Oh yeah, 5. Texas Chainsaw Massacre
5 section. Nice.
We just talked about it. Go ahead.
All right, this one I'm gonna mention the one that is on my list, and then mention one that should have been on my list that I realized I didn't fucking put on, and it pisses me off.
What?
All right, number 5, The Editor. This one is on my list. I fucking love it. The one I forgot to put in my fucking top 100 that would have been in this spot, Gremlins.
See, I can't believe I was waiting to be wowed by what you're talking about.
If anyone knows me,
okay, whatever.
But if anyone knows me, Gremlins is like, I fucking love that film.
Okay, so is
But-
it Gremlins?
No, like I'll say, like I wanted to briefly mention it just to give it props, but
The
no.
Burbs is better than Gremlins.
No.
Yeah, I think so too.
But the editor, yeah, I fucking love this movie. It is like a perfect comedic take, spoof on the Giallo.
And your first 10 on the podcast.
Yeah, it was my first 10 on the podcast that you talked me up from. After watching it a couple more times, yeah, it deserves that 10. It's just brilliant. Like, you could tell that Astron 6
Did you also
puts
notice
the love into it.
Did you also notice that it's not on our list? It's good. It's really
it's
good.
really good.
But that's what makes my list unique.
But it just makes it fucking crazy that it's near number 5 for me. I don't know.
I fucking love that movie, dude. It's amazing. The soundtrack,
The score
lighting,
is really good. Yeah,
the gore.
Everything works in that movie.
It
Yeah.
hits all of the right notes.
Yeah. That's kind of like remember we're talking about like an existential kind of horror. You hate all of them. That's almost
Meta horror.
Meta horror.
Yeah.
It's kind of meta horror.
It's a little meta.
There you go.
Yeah, but it's done in a great way.
Yeah.
What's your number 4, Randy?
My number 4 is George A. Romero's Is It or Isn't It take on vampirism. Martin.
It isn't.
Is
It
it
isn't.
or isn't it your number 4 though?
It is my number 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Spoiler. It's my favorite vampire movie ever, obviously. It touches a lot on
Your flesh. You got the tattoo.
Oh yeah, it does. It touches me.
Tom Savini didn't even want to look at it.
What am I looking at here? Fucking penis.
George Romero liked it, though.
Did he?
Well, he was like, hey, or, I
That
showed
for
him.
a shirt though.
Huh? No, well, I showed him the tattoo too. And
Oh, okay. I
once
didn't see that he was on his deathbed.
once
so
it
I
dawned on
didn't
him
notice.
what it was, he seemed to be excited
I
about
was
it.
more worried about his health.
But the anti-religious statements that it makes kind of hit home for me personally. So that might figure into why I rank it so highly. It is I'm kind of biased because it speaks to me on a personal level and in terms of the religious aspects and like living in an oppressively religious household with people that think you're a weirdo and stuff like that. But it's also an incredibly well shot and written and just imagined and realized film. It's fairly simplistic, the plot or whatever. It's not layered in like this giant puzzle or anything, but it's a really interesting take on the vampire story. Nobody else that I can think of has done that kind of take on a horror monster or whatever.
No, it's an entity of its own. There's
Yeah, and I was saying
no
it's
other movie like that.
unique for Romero, too, just especially during that time when he was just known for his zombie stuff for the most part.
Well,
When he did
just
it,
one.
yeah, he'd only done Night.
Oh, that's right.
At that point. So, but
Stop it, Scott.
the casting is pretty cool. It's John Amplis in his first role and definitely his best role. Not that he really got any really meaty roles like that afterward.
Oh yeah, then there was the guy who lived to be 100 and
Yeah,
104, 108,
something like that.
Yeah, it was 108. The
Cuda.
Cuda.
Yeah, that. And I just I kind of wonder how much of that guy's character was even acting or whatever.
Because he was so fucking old.
Yeah,
like
just
that.
being that old, maybe he does believe in vampires and curses and the power of Christ or whatever. Romero's little cameo is pretty cool. It's as far as directors' cameos in their own films, I can't really think of one that's better.
No.
It's pretty cool to see a weird, cynical, progressive priest that's getting drunk and smoking cigarettes and talking about The Exorcist, and Savini in a young role and Romero's wife, whose name it's definitely a family affair in a lot of ways. It's people that Romero would work with for years to come, and one person that he would marry, and it's a very personal film for him. And I want to say I'd read before that he counted it as his best work.
Did he?
Maybe I read that. I want to say that I did.
I know it was the reason why he made Dawn, because he lost his love for horror before that.
Right.
And, well, he loved OJ for some reason before that.
The OJ documentary.
Yeah.
Still super ironic that he did a documentary about a man who would go on to violently murder his wife and
Right.
her lover.
Maybe OJ just turned into a Romero fan, and that's what
This is for you, George.
That's weird.